purpose connects us to destiny. We all have different gifts. Everyone has different gifts. Say, I have a gift. I have gifts. You know, you may have multiple gifts, but you're gifted. God has created you uniquely. And there are different gifts in each individual in this room. Those that are watching by live stream, there's gifts inside of you, in your life. You are gifted. And there's something that we have to contribute to the overall story of mankind that no one else can contribute like you. So we are created in the image and the likeness of God. So when you destroy the concept of a creator or a designer, then you erase the sense of accountability to illustrate who he is. See, when God created you, he didn't create you and wonder what I'm going to do with you. No, God created purpose, then he created you. When he created you, he already created purposes. This is what I'm creating you for, this purpose. So you were created on purpose, in purpose. God created man in his image and after his likeness, and he said, let them have what? Dominion, rulership. Let them reign on the earth. So it takes a creator to create with purpose. Purpose carries with it the implications of destiny. And destiny carries responsibility that I'm accountable. So the bottom line is this: the effort is to destroy the concept of creator, is to erase that which we have been born with, and the conviction that I will have to give an account of myself. So when God created the world, it says in Genesis chapter 1, it's 10 times it said this, that when he created the plants, the animals, and they're to reproduce after what? Its kind, after its own kind. 10 times after its own kind. Now watch the laws that God governs, that God creates creation. And everything was created to reproduce after its own kind. After its own kind. After its own kind. Get it? So, now there are 2 laws in creation here. And it's why Jesus was necessary to come. Because we reproduce after our own kind. Please get this concept. This is the beginning. So you remember the parables of the 10 talents, of the parables of the talents? He gave one, what? One talent? 5? 2 talents, right? Okay, so the one with the 5 did what? He increased it, right? And he brought back 10 talents. So he said, now be in charge of 10 cities. He was able to take his gifts, he was able to take that which God created him, his uniqueness, and what? Reproduced it, but he took it to another level, and he says, now, watch this, rule over 10 cities. Enter into the joy of the Lord. So here's what you need to see. Responsibility will give you access to greater joy. Oh, the more you're accountable in reproducing, it gives you access to greater joy. Follow me? Because it's not something that you get by doing nothing. It's something you get by functioning according to the design that God has created you. What we have been created for connects us to purpose. What connects us to purpose, then purpose connects us to destiny. We all have different gifts. Everyone has different gifts. Say, I have a gift. I have gifts. You know, you may have multiple gifts, but you're gifted. God has created you uniquely. And there are different gifts in each individual in this room. Those that are watching by live stream, there's gifts inside of you, in your life. You are gifted. And there's something that we have to contribute to the overall story of mankind that no one else can contribute like you. So we are created in the image and the likeness of God. So when you destroy the concept of a creator or a designer, then you erase the sense of accountability to illustrate who he is. That's what the sin issue is. The sin issue is operating outside of the design. When you operate outside of the image of God, which is the image of God, anything outside of the nature and the character of Christ is what sin is. That's what when Paul talks about, he said, all have sinned and come what? Short of the what? Glory. They missed the mark of the glory, the image and the likeness of God, who they're supposed to be. You see, all the other stuff, smoking, drinking, cussing, all that, those are just symptoms of operating outside of the design of the image and the likeness of God. Those are fruits of it. So society wants to erase and remove the creator out. And if you remove the creator out, you remove the creature, the creation, and you remove the designer, you remove the design. So now there's no responsibility, no accountability. I just live like I want to live. And that's what's happening in the world today. To each is of his own. A God unto themselves. So we have to understand that why Jesus came. Now, when Jesus came, he came reproducing after his kind. Glory to God. So after his kind, he's come. Now, if you plant seeds, you plant peas, you get pea crop. You plant greens, you get green crop, right? Now, sinners reproduce sinners. Genesis 8 is another law that he gives us. It's called seed time and harvest. In other words, whatever you sow, that means you reap what you sow. It's a law. You can't stop that law. So there's a seed, there's a time, and there's a harvest. Seed, planting, time, harvest. Seed, time, and harvest. Watch this now. It's important. Get this. So, that means what you reap what you sow. You plant a seed, and it will bring forth fruit. So when Jesus came, he came to bring us back to God's original intent. Because you got to get this, that seed time and harvest. When Adam fell in the garden, the fall of man, then it produced what? Sin. And sin passed down throughout what? All mankind. If Jesus had not come, humanity would have been destroyed. Because sin reproduces after its kind. There's a law. There's a cycle here. Keep this in mind. Sin is operating outside of the image of God. And anything outside of the image and the character of God is what sin is. So when Jesus came, he came to reconcile us, restore us back to the image and the likeness of God. I'm going to show you in just a moment. And so that we can now reproduce and illustrate who he is in the earth. So you plant a seed and it brings forth fruit. If I sow 10 acres of peas, I reap what? If I sow mercy, now Jesus said, blessed be the merciful, for they shall what? Obtain mercy. Oh God. And it's written in all creation, is what you plant, you will harvest. And that humanity has been planting, acting apart from God, independent of him. So Jesus steps into the scene to stop the flow of the sowing and reaping. Let me put it this way. Jesus came and stepped in and took upon himself that which we earned, that the wrongdoing that we did. He said, I will step in, break that cycle, and I will receive that harvest that was supposed to be theirs. That we earned. But he took upon himself what you and I deserve, so you and I can receive what he deserved. That's what salvation is. I know I'm coming in a different realm because you got to get this, because it's a thinking message. This is a thinking church. It's a church of the word. You see, because that salvation is that he broke that cycle of sin, that no longer sin can have dominion over you. You see, God looks at us in our current state and sees us in our intended state.